Hey everybody, this is Ryan Scott, host of LAN Party. If all goes according to plan, you're hearing this podcast on Wednesday, December 3rd. We actually recorded it last week due to just the holidays and various issues. We didn't get it up last week as intended. So this is the podcast for this week. Sorry for the delay, and hope you enjoy it. Hello and welcome to the Thanksgiving edition of LAN Party, One Up Network's PC gaming podcast.
LAN Party!
Yay! If you don't like that name, then too bad. I'm your host, Ryan Scott, and I'm sorry for everything you're about to hear. With me today is
Anthony Gallegos.
And Jade Kraus. Tina.
Alice.
And that's about it. But, yeah, we got two new people on here.
Well, yeah,
today.
Matt Chandronait and Robert Ashley are off doing holiday stuff. We're still stuck here working.
Yep. Yeah,
so
fuck that.
Lucky them. So Alice is here. We've been playing some Left 4 Dead with her, and
Yes.
and Jade, the artist formerly known as GameStop Girl,
Indeed.
who now is a member of our production department.
Yep.
Has agreed to join us for this one time. Hopefully, not the only time.
I think it would be the only time if Sean still worked here. Could you imagine if Sean Elliott was still here, the things that he would be asking her?
Yeah.
It would be pretty horrible. So.
Yeah, no thanks.
So for all the listeners, that's how you get a job here. Read comics with Anthony.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or try to get into Chef Love. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, we're kind of estrogen heavy today.
A little bit.
pretty-
I know, Ryan.
hot.
Like, what's up with you?
Oh, no.
You're
It's just
adding to it.
it's how I roll. It's how I like it.
After this, we're all going to eat ice cream and watch romantic
We're
comedies.
going to watch The Notebook right
It's
after
not
we're
LAN
done
Party,
here.
more like LAN Harem.
Oh, there we go.
Anyways.
So what are we talking about today? We're so unprepared for this podcast.
No.
I just want to say.
I wanted to start off by saying thank you to all the people that sent me birthday messages. I didn't respond to any of you, but
Because I hate you.
but I read them all, and I appreciate it.
That's what people always say. I read all of them.
I do read all of them.
You could be like a Blizzard mod. We read all the posts.
The difference is that I really do read all of them because it's not like
Or like Sarah Palin.
I get more than like 5 a day. It's not like I get thousands or something like that. I
Yeah?
really am not that popular. And then I got a ton of messages about people being pissed off at us because we didn't know that unit from StarCraft was called a Dragoon, is what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
I knew.
No, you didn't. You
No.
couldn't name it either at the
didn't.
No,
time.
I
Damn it.
didn't.
A lot of people said that I was a failure for not knowing that too. What they don't know
Wow,
is that
that's why you're a failure.
I took that personally, and that's why I've actually been kind of down the whole rest of this week.
Because you didn't know a
Heck,
unit name in StarCraft.
Yeah,
2.
Ryan and I didn't know.
Yeah, guys have to be careful. Anthony might commit seppuku or something like that one of these days.
Yeah, we do
Slow
work on the
down.
8th floor, and there's a reason our windows don't slide open.
All right, that's nice. So I got an email regarding our Catholic and religious conversation we had last podcast about
guitar praise. What was
That's our
it?
phrase.
yeah. And then I made a comment saying that Harry Potter was on the ban list.
The index. That's what it's called.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Anyways, apparently it was only banned in certain churches in the United States. Wasn't on the official Vatican list. So my bad.
Thank God.
Yeah, and the guy who sent me the message was Boat of Car, and he
Boat of Car.
Yeah,
It's a
So-
creative name.
I know.
So let's talk about. Everyone's been getting mad because there's been a lot of talk about Left 4 Dead.
But that's stupid because
But we're gonna
if you
talk
look
about
at
it
your
again.
Steam list, like 99% of those fuckers are playing that game.
Well, more
'Cause it's
importantly,
really good.
last
Yeah.
week the only people who had played were me and Tina, and now
Alice.
I've been playing.
most importantly, Ryan Scott has been playing a PC game other than World of Warcraft, and that right there is something we should all talk about.
Oh, hey, you know what? Speaking of PC games, I finally got my Uber saw in Team Fortress 2. I was not aware, but apparently last June they fixed it so that you only have to get like 20 of the 39 achievements in order to unlock it. So I was like, cool, I got 37 of 39 achievements, and I unlocked it, so I'm happy now.
Have you been using it, or did you just get in there?
No,
and see
I just
you
did that
had
and
it?
then went back to Left 4 Dead.
Of course. There are more achievements to be had in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
Are you concerned with Left 4 Dead achievements, though? Be honest with me.
Not really, no.
Okay, good.
Liar!
No, I mean, like, there's some, like, when I see an opportunity, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to just, like, farm achievements or anything stupid like that.
I thought you and Eric were talking specifically about how you two would play and try for hours doing... Oh, Eric Nair, he's a freelancer for us. You can read a lot of his reviews on oneup.com. But...
Eric's awesome. We play with him. He, like, takes charge. And...
I know. I love it. He's, like, a total, like, party leader. He'll be like, okay, you go there, you go there.
But he was, when I played with him the other night, he was like he's like, I have to do the achievement where I don't use any health packs.
Right, but he told me specifically that you guys play to try to get, all these different achievements.
I mean, we haven't.
Didn't you do, like, the Towering Inferno one where you had to light the tank on fire with Molotov? I remember you were trying. You're like, I want to get the achievement, but the game won't give me any Molotovs.
That's exactly how he sounds like, Alice.
And then he goes, eh.
I did. When we played, I mean, when I see the opportunity to get an achievement, I will try. I don't play specifically for that. But I did that. Were you there when, like, I saw a tank and I just ran straight up to the tank and tried to throw the Molotov and he beat me down?
Yes, and then you burned, you set the thing on fire. You did, but he, because after you light it on fire with a Molotov, it will guarantee to die in like 20 seconds or something like that. But you had created like a wall of fire that separated us from you, so you were downed, and we couldn't get to you because we couldn't get through the fire. So you were just standing there with the tank burning on top of you.
Yeah,
and you died.
I'm a total badass.
Oh, dude.
But I took one for the team, guys.
Yeah. So I hear like the easiest way to kill a tank is to throw a Molotov, light him on fire, and then you just gotta wait 20 seconds.
You just have to run, basically, but it's still pretty hard to run from him.
Yeah.
I also heard through the grapevine that Ryan specifically only plays as the character Zoe when he plays. Specifically,
yeah, that is true.
Specifically because she's a white woman.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Ryan O'Donnell or Ryan Scott?
No, Ryan Scott.
And then
he only plays as
Oh, no, he also played as the black guy once. Oh, wait, no, that was Eric. You played as Francis, too. I've seen it.
Alice.
Anthony.
No,
I ruined a joke.
It's a joke.
Alice, you just
not a
sold
joke.
me out, Alice.
Whatever.
No, it's true. Like, who was I? It was Lewis the other day, and he wouldn't revive me. He was like, white only.
Dang.
I was like, Ryan.
I was.
What's wrong with you? Honestly.
Do you guys have specific characters that you tend to
Wait a second. Hold up. This doesn't make sense. If Ryan only likes white women, why would you play as the white woman? You would play as someone else so you can look at the white woman.
Oh, that's
She
true.
has a point.
Anthony, you
Well, seeing as how this whole joke is nonsense and isn't true anyway.
Anthony's like in the corner facing the wall now.
The first and the only time Alice will ever be on this podcast.
Dang.
make your noise. I want to hear your noise.
What noise? That?
Yeah, that. Yeah, so...
No, do you guys have specific characters that you pick each time?
Yeah, I like to play as the old dude a lot of times.
Yeah. Lewis, check your fire.
I don't
like
know
that,
why.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Have you guys seen the NeoGaf thread about that Left 4 bed video?
Yeah.
We didn't, but we did watch that before we came in, and I don't know.
That was pretty disturbing.
Please explain.
It's a...
They took a bunch of sound clips and made it sound like Bill and Lewis were having sex.
Hot.
Against Lewis's will.
Yeah.
Hotter.
And then at the end he says, reloading.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty... Yeah, whatever. But,
Have you guys actually played through all the different scenarios on there yet?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, because so far whenever I play like a competitive multiplayer, everyone always does the first one, No Mercy. Like last night I played with Sean and all those guys. And there was 5 of us in Vent, and then there was 3 random 1UP users that joined.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting... I don't mean to make it sound bad, but I ended up getting stuck with the 1UP users.
And you lost because you were playing against Sean Elliott.
We got our ass handed to us over and over again. And not only that, but
were you playing survivors or?
Well, in competitive, you trade back and forth between.
So you just lost
survivors.
Both ways.
Yeah,
okay.
It didn't matter. Yeah, and every time, and at one point we started doing really well because this random guy joined, and all of a sudden Sean claimed that the guy was running a script, and so immediately when Sean said that the guy was running a script, Matt, the guy who was running the server, one of the kids I play in Vent with, started running cheats where they all spawned as tanks at the same time.
Really? Really?
Wow.
It was fucked up. Anyway.
We were playing with somebody the other night. I think it was when you Alice, you were having a hard time getting your mic to work.
Right.
But you were trying to get into our game, and we all voted to kick this guy. And then he saw that we were voting to kick him because he gets a vote too, and he just opened fire on us. It was great.
I love how we were playing, and then you decided to be such a dickwad, and you walked up to me, and you started shoving me with your gun, and you're like, "Oh, does it actually hurt you?" I'm like, "Yes."
When you shove, it doesn't.
Melee attacks don't hurt.
Well, my HP went down.
You can kill zombies with melee attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever decapped anyone with that? That's awesome.
All you do is when you get spit on or anything, you just back yourself into a corner and mash the melee button. You're pretty much invincible.
So, anyways, like since I've been playing and stuff, I was talking to a couple of my friends, and we decided that like for the next Left 4 Dead that comes out,
Left 5 Dead.
Left 5 Dead,
that's a pretty good.
Or
note.
Left 4 Dead Returns
guys.
or some shit like that. I just realized that or my friends as well realized that when you're playing, like it's not as in depth. Like when you're fighting, as it could be, like it could be so much better. Like when they're attacking you, they're just kind of like, like rubbing their hands against you, like But like I would like it if you could actually see like parts of your body like freaking like coming off and stuff when they're attacking you. That'd be cool.
But how would you attach your limbs?
I don't know. I don't think they can do that with the from a nerd aspect. The Source engine is like 5 years old, and I don't think they could do it.
Depending on where you shoot the zombie, you can see their damage going in the right spot.
If you hold the melee button down the whole time and like freaking do like a 360, like you can just punch those suckers off like for a while. I don't know. That's just some random observations.
Yeah, I like going up to Alice anytime there's a lull and just hitting her.
It's because actually Ryan's also a wife beater in his spare time. Hence the reason he never brings his fiance out to any events.
Hey, that's not true.
You brought her out once.
What event have I come to recently?
You went out and played miniature golf with us, and then because we were in public and you couldn't hit her, you hit Shu in the back with a golf ball.
I did. That was an accident. You guys were
I'm
like,
sure
"Hey,"
that was an accident.
You guys were like, "Hey,
with air quotes,
hit the golf ball," and I was like, "You don't want me doing this. I'm not. It's not going to be pretty. Like, you don't want me to do this." And you're like, "No, do it." And I was like, "Okay," and it hit Shu. Yeah. Like I told you, I warned you beforehand. Like,
I remember that.
You don't want me doing that.
The goodbye.
I know, because you're an extremely violent person.
Yeah, I'm a rageaholic.
But
rageaholic.
So Ryan, you were telling me that Left 4 Dead is right now. You feel like it could be your game of the year.
It could be. It's really
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't like shooters, but apparently shooters are my games of the year every year.
What was your shooter? What was your game
Team Fortress 2 last year?
Really?
Mister, I don't like Half-Life. Wait, you've never played Half-Life, is that right? I can't remember if that's correct.
Yeah, he's
right. Mister,
Have you
I don't like
never played Half-Life 2? You've never played Half-Life 2?
I was the first person at CGW to play Half-Life 2.
Yeah, that's not what I asked. Have you played Half-Life 2, like, as in played it for, like, longer than a demo?
Oh, no.
How is that possible? You would play it, and you would literally find that it is the best shooter made to date. I would stand by that statement.
Half-Life 2?
Yeah.
But I have nothing. I have no context for that.
What do you mean you have no context for it?
I mean, I played Wolfenstein and Doom. That's it. That's all.
Anyways, so why would Left 4 Dead be your game of the year?
It's fun. I like it.
That's it.
I haven't done any of the versus multiplayer yet. But
I'm just saying, you're telling me that if that was your review or you were writing, it's fun. I like it.
I wouldn't write a review of Left 4 Dead
shooters
because I don't play shooters. I'm not qualified to write a review of a shooter.
That is not true. There are definitely times I've written like reviews for types of games that I don't necessarily play all the time, but. You're still
like Naruto games?
You're still yes.
You play Naruto games all the time. I make sure of that.
I hate you. I'm just saying that you're still educated enough in like as far as what is in games and stuff like that you can review games that you're not necessarily totally familiar with.
Yeah, I've never played a cheerleading game before. We maybe play We Cheer. What the hell?
Well, that's because there's no cheerleading games.
That's because you're a girl.
I'm about to whip someone's ass.
Dang. Typecast.
Actually, yeah, Ryan does do that all the time. Just like
what typecast people?
Yeah, just like wasn't there recently a cooking game, and who did you give that to? You gave it to Jade.
Yep.
I offered it to other people, and they were like, "I'm not into this," and I was like, "You were like, Jade will do this." And you were
Anthony sold you out. I see how
I
is.
I didn't sell her.
You did.
Other than strangely, whenever I do need to ask her for the time at her house, she always walks into the kitchen and looks it on the oven.
I hate you.
What did you barter with? Like, what did you get in return for this?
I kid.
You're like, oh, give this review to Jade, and in return, I want to review this game.
Oh yeah, Ryan tried to offer me it, and I'm like, pawn this off on her. No, it wasn't like that at all.
It's only because I refused it too.
No, I don't. I try not to typecast people when I give them reviews.
Oh wait, you're talking about the Cake Mania game, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Richard Lee loves Cake Mania.
Well,
but he's too busy, right?
He wasn't in a position to read that game. Anyway, let's stop talking about the politics of reviewing. How I make my snap decisions on who's going to review something.
So, Anthony, you brought in some user emails.
Okay, so someone asked me, this is kind of a random thing, but
What's
I'm
his
not
name?
the only one here that reads Walking Dead, so it's not so bad.
Walking Dead's a comic,
I actually,
by the way.
his name is Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his one-up username because I forgot to copy it.
Mm-hmm.
He just asked me, I was just wondering who you think the better artist for Walking Dead is.
God.
And he
Tony
sounds
Moore
just like
or
that.
Charlie Adler. Personally, I like Tony's art better. Charlie Adler seemed to be too rushed and sloppy in the later issues. First off, he's wrong, but that's okay. Also, Robert Kirkman, as you know, is from my home. As you know, is from my home state of Kentucky. So that goes to prove that we produce more than interesting statistics, racism, and Shane Bettenhausen. Thanks, Tommy. P.S. We don't speak of Shane Bettenhausen around these parts anymore. For whatever reason, this guy's
these parts.
Yeah, I was gonna say this guy is like a rare Shane hater. But no, personally, I think that Charlie Adler's art is better. What do you think, Jade? I know you read it too.
Well, I think so, only because of the style that the comic actually is. It kind of fits that it's, as he says, quote, rushed and sloppy. It doesn't really feel rushed and sloppy, just more like, I don't know, intense and raw, because that's pretty much what's going on in these later issues.
Yeah,
a lot of intense rawness.
I think a lot of people like like Adler's art at first because it's like, I don't know, it's got like a weird cartoony style to it, but personally, when I like to see like the other, like Charlie Adler, his art's way better because I like to see the way he draws faces being ripped open and that sort of thing, as grotesque as that is.
No, but he's also kind of good at like facial expressions when they're not getting torn off.
It's true, like when they're just shocked or something like that.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job with capturing like extreme shock and.
Well, I've vowed not to read, but Walking Dead until
fuckers pick up Booster Gold,
until they
Hell
acknowledge, until they take my Greg Land should do Walking Dead art petition seriously.
Why should that guy do anything for Walking Dead when they already have an established and good artist?
Do you know who Greg Land is?
No, I don't.
He's very notorious for tracing, for the things he draws, tracing existing art. Like he's one of those people that's the guy that like I've seen like a picture of Wolverine
like
and
then
people
like a picture of
like the porno faces and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like in like a stance that could only have come from a porno.
Yeah.
But they're like shooting a superpower.
Yeah.
What is this?
We'll have to post some of these pictures in the thread. Yeah,
Wow.
he's infamous for taking like porno covers and stuff.
And I mean, just art that other people have drawn for other comics. He can just like lay it on top of, it's like clearly he based it off of this. If not, I don't know if he traces it straight, but it's clearly like referenced very closely.
And then beyond that, I also got a ton of messages from people, kind of like, because people thought that when I was talking about guitar praise that I was basically insulting Christian music in general, which isn't necessarily the case. I was actually just insulting praise music, the music that's actually about giving big ups to J-Man. I don't like that music in particular, but there are actually a lot of good Christian bands out there. If you like hardcore music, there's bands like...
There's a lot of Christian bands I like.
Norma Jean. But then there's bands like... There's bands like...
music all the time.
Call them out, dude.
There's bands like May and stuff like that, which are like a lot more poppy. Of course, I like crap like that. So
You just called it crap. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, but I'm just saying there are a lot of good Christian bands out there, and I don't mean to offend any of our Christian audience that might get offended and do something like mail us a bomb or something like that.
Hey, wait a second. Yeah, and also we should point out that you're a religious studies major, and I'm a minor, if that helps.
So that in particular makes us
pain.
well schooled and okay when we make fun of it.
Exactly.
I did an Asian chick, so therefore I can make racist Asian jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So as we're podcasting here, I'm looking through my one-up inbox, looking for messages to read. There's a lot of people. I mentioned, I think on Legendary Thread, our MMO podcast last time I was on. think it was on there. I forget if it was there or here, that I had found an exploit in World of Warcraft that allows you to kill opposing players in neutral cities with impunity on PvP servers.
And then you found out that it wasn't really an exploit and everyone's been doing it?
No, a lot of people have IM'd me or PM'd me, whatever, asking for the exploit.
Did you tell them?
Are you going to reveal it? Tell it right now.
I don't think I should do that.
I don't think you should do it either, but at the same time, remember what I told you? You can have your account banned for taking advantage of an
I'm not.
exploit.
Well, that's why I haven't done it since, and I'm not going to tell people. I'll just tell you it involves.
Let it go. Let's just spill it right now. Do it.
With
Let's do
NPCs.
it. Wait, are you on a PvP server or normal?
It's PvP.
All right,
Yeah.
so basically Ryan's saying he's not going to tell anybody
It's
for
my
free.
glitch.
No, it's a glitch. You're willing to share it, but you're not going to share it for free. You want people to send you white bread, huh? Because that's what you like.
That's my whole plan. Yeah.
Ryan needs SpaghettiOs
You uncovered
Spaghettios.
and
my
Hungry
scheme.
Man meals. Anything
like
that can
Campbell's
be cooked in a microwave.
Chicken noodle soup.
SpaghettiOs.
Nah,
Good.
Ryan's all
See?
about the chicken and rice.
I bought some SpaghettiOs yesterday.
See, that's what you need.
It's just a fire truck outside.
That's Blizzard coming for you right now.
So
there-
crack it
there's-
down.
I have a message right here in my inbox from Foxheart, and it says, "Dear Mr. Scott, I'm a regular listener to all the One At Network podcasts, and it has come to my attention that you insist on apologizing before every episode of LAN Party. In light of this fact, I have prepared a small poem to express my most sincere affinity for the One Up PC podcast, both past and present. Roses are red, violets are blue. Jeff Green would never have apologized for being awesome, and neither should you. Don't listen to Tina. Sincerely, Fox."
Oh, fuck that.
You don't like that he calls you out in particular?
Yeah. Don't listen to Tina.
I'm going to admit
That's
that was
fine.
a pretty weak poem, but it's the thought. that
Oh,
counts.
P.S. I am straight.
Oh, shit.
Thanks for making that
Thank
clear.
you. As am I.
Are you silent?
Ditto.
Pretty sure.
Everyone in this room's like, I'm just kidding, Ryan. Ryan is happily engaged.
Yep.
Wait.
Hey, you know, I'm not all super macho, whatever. People have mistaken me for otherwise, you know. People just assume.
And there isn't anything wrong with being gay anyways.
No, but
Anyways,
I always
Anyone
kind of
that
find
says
it amusing.
otherwise,
And
I
there's
will-
so much right.
speaking of community stuff again, so this guy who ironically is named Big Dick Enthusiast on our website
Okay.
Ooh la la.
wrote a hate message to me, and he basically said that like women need to stop being on the podcast. Like
What?
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow, he's
so
gonna love this podcast.
I blogged about it. So yeah, I just thought it was ironic that there's 3 girls now on it. I'm like, what's
Why
up
would he
with
say that?
this?
Why?
Because he wants the sausage fest. Obviously.
He wants the
No, but what was
brodeo.
his real reason?
He wants the real.
He says,
definition
I'm
of
not
rodeo.
trying to come off as a sexist, but girls in podcasts
But-
just need to stop. Guys are clearly not open enough around them, and I'm sorry, but if someone is really saying most of the women working at the site have been chosen because they're good at what they do or express a unique opinion, need to stop smoking shit. The only reason they've been chosen is because they're not extremely ugly nor fat.
Wow, that's not sexist at all. No,
I don't wanna
can't
come
see
off as
anything
sexist,
sexist
but-
I
about
mean,
that.
let me just set the record straight. Like, I'm ugly and fat, so I totally just blew your argument to smithereens right there.
Yeah, Alice is like 400 pounds.
I know.
Oh, Alice.
What we're not is
I'm just
open.
very dense.
My favorite
you know?
part about Alice is
Big
that I
bone.
can't hug her and have my fingers touch on the other side.
Exactly. It's like hugging
Or-
3 people at once.
And,
bang for your butt.
So I blogged about this, and then I got a couple comments from users, and then one, which is my favorite, I'm going to read from J Shadow. He says, it's all totally true. Someone get intern Chris on instead. Sure, that guy was a douche, but at least he wasn't a girl.
Oh my God. Okay. Was that serious?
Yeah.
Are
okay.
you sure? That sounds like
if you're listening, whatever
completely
you
No, don't.
You missed the
Shut up. What joke are you talking about, dude?
I have a
This
message
is a
here from
jerk.
someone who has given me advice for getting into the vending machine when it's being stupid.
Did he tell you to crawl in a little hole?
Says,
The
"Did you
history
kn-
of
did-
this, just in case people haven't been listening or they're new to the podcast, is that our vending machine traditionally, except it's been better lately, used to not drop the delicious treats that Ryan would buy prior to podcast, and Ryan would beat the utter shit out of the machine.
You
much to
you
the
never
annoyance
want to
of
hear
everyone
Ryan
on the
angry.
floor.
It's scary.
Ryan would do like full-on flying Liu Kang's
Wow.
flying kicks into it.
Did you know if you kick them just right, they may actually open? I can tell you from experience that is not true.
Did you know if you kick them just right, they can fall on you and kill you?
I believe that.
Many people die every year from vending machine mishaps. Don't let yourself be a victim.
So one of the big things, like we've been trying to do that thing where each week we talk about an article, and I know not everyone read it, which is fine because I didn't necessarily send it to everyone because I'm often known as a failure. But the article I did send around to at least Ryan and Alice and Tina, and I would have sent it to Jade if I had known that she was going to be on here ahead of time.
No, you wouldn't have.
No, I actually wouldn't have. But
stunning is a habit, dude.
What'd you say?
Stunning is a habit.
Stunning?
Yeah.
But it was written by Matt Peckham, originally for PC World, but I read it on the Washington Post website.
Yeah.
And it was talking about how
that jerk doesn't do enough work for me anymore.
PC games market
I miss him.
Is the largest market in the world, even way bigger than the Wii, PS3, and 360 combined. And at first when I heard that, I was a little skeptical, and then Ryan pointed out to me exactly
in the
why
world.
that's true. In the world, it's true. I mean, a lot of other places like China,
Korea.
Alice, what do you have to say about that?
Connect 4.
Alice doesn't like the fact that we're calling her out because she's Asian. Alice, can you tell us how that affects the Asian markets?
I like rice.
Yeah.
Do you farm gold and WoW?
Of course.
Oh, God.
All of my kind does.
Oh, God damn it. I'm going to let that go. And then there's like countries like Russia and stuff. I mean, Russia and
all of Europe.
Yeah. I mean, they basically are still all about PC gaming.
People love to bring up like, oh, is PC gaming dead? Well, here in America, maybe it's not. Obviously, it's not as big as like anything else. But well, everywhere else, PC gaming's awesome.
It's because consoles are so expensive everywhere else. Like Wii and 360, they cost a ridiculous amount overseas, and PC not so much.
Right.
But by awesome, then you have to think of like all of the free-to-play MMOs and like the Korean MMO scene and stuff like that. And
right.
I don't know if I would say that was awesome. It's just a different thing because I like basically 90% of those things I wouldn't even care about.
All right, hold on. I want to see if any of this fits you. The average PC gamer has a 17-inch screen running at 1280 by 1024, but serious gamers have a 21-inch screen running at 1680 by 1050, and extreme players have 30-inch screens running at 2560 by 1600. I don't think that qualifies as any of us. Like, I have a 19-inch flat screen, and that was like only till recently. Before that, I had a giant CRT. It was like a 15-inch maybe. I mean, do you like have a hardcore like gigantic display at home?
I mean, mine runs at 1600 by 1200.
No, yours looks like 19.
Basically, as long as it can run Neo Geo games, you don't care.
Pretty much, yeah.
You like to go Neopets.
I'm a lean forward player anyway, so my screen doesn't need to be that big.
Did you just equate Neo Geo with Neopets?
No, I just thought of Neopets.
She did, actually. Let's point that out.
I didn't equate them. They're not the same. I understand.
What is a Neo Geo? What is a Neo Geo?
I hate air. Let me look it up on my laptop right now.
Moving on.
One of the most awesome consoles ever. Thank you.
Did you own one?
No.
They're expensive.
No, they're still really expensive. I've come very close to buying a Neo Geo several times.
I've seen them. There's a place in Alameda.
That would
Game
be an
Exchange.
expensive hobby
store
to get into. Really?
Yeah, Alameda Game Exchange. If you like
Yes.
old games, there's like it is obscene how many old games
It
they have
is.
there.
It's
just across the bay.
Really?
Yeah.
Count it.
Okay.
It's on.
Do you have the Neo Geo emulator on your computer?
Ryan Scott doesn't have a
Do you
Neo
know-
Geo emulator.
I don't believe in
Ryan Scott does not
I don't
believe in
condone
piracy.
emulation.
But Ryan Scott may or may not have a modded Xbox.
I don't condone
Dun,
anything
dun,
of the
dun.
sort. I
So,
cannot officially
You could go
acknowledge
to all
that
this.
question.
Look, we have some Neo Geo arcade machines in the Bay Area. that you can
I'm just
check
saying.
out.
Yeah, one time we should all make a little like nerd pilgrimage out to Alameda Game Exchange.
The family that runs it, I'm good friends with, because when I was working at GameStop, people would come in with like Nintendo 64 or PlayStation games, and we couldn't take them. And I would be like, go here and talk to these people. They are
Nice.
amazing. And the woman, her name escapes me, unfortunately. She actually has a list. And whenever I like want a game, like a retro game, I'll put it on the list, and she'll call me when they get it. Yeah, it's an amazing
You got
store.
the hookups.
Yeah,
And not only that, but that woman, she looks like a housewife, like you wouldn't expect to know anything. But man, she knows her shit backwards and forwards.
and she
It's
knows
crazy
where,
when
like,
you
the
call her in.
store is full, like wall to wall with games, and I'll be like, do you have
Do you have Panic Restaurant for the NES?
Like anything. She'll be like,
right
it's
here.
right here, and just pull it out of like a stack of games.
This sounds like the best store I will ever walk into.
It's a tiny little family-run place. Like
They're really nice, and they have next generation console stuff too.
Do you
like
think they'll have
360.
Starflight?
what is Starflight?
The game.
If they don't, they will find it.
Yeah, exactly. Or they'll call you when they get it. And they also
Yeah.
do like she was telling me like how her Super Metroid, the battery had died in it.
They replaced it?
They
And
replaced it
Nice.
for me. I don't
Isn't
know.
it just an LCD?
It's like a little
Or
CMOS
not
battery. or
LCD,
something.
but, you know.
It's like a battery on a motherboard.
But it's a pain
Yeah.
to do it yourself, and they did it for me. I don't know if that's like if everyone can go there and get that service, but
But I'm saying you
Yeah.
can probably
Pretty
pay
cool.
for it. I bet.
yeah. Or like
Nice.
they'll definitely find another game. Like
But-
if you need another copy of Super Metroid, they will
It's a
find it for
bummer.
you.
There's not a lot of brick and mortar stores that deal very, very well in old games. Like
I mean,
most
yeah,
of the time,
at this
I'll
point,
go to like
you can find like PS2 games, and that's it's like the
flea
oldest you'll
markets.
find.
Or
I only
something.
know of the Alameda Game Exchange, and then in Sacramento, there's a wonderful store called Fair Game, and it's kind of along the same lines where it's just run by crazy nerds that have a bunch of stuff. And
I need a picture of Ryan's setup at home. I remember you telling me you had like 16 consoles hooked up or some bullshit
Yeah,
like that.
except let's point out that Ryan's setup also still includes an old CRT TV. Like
Well, I
Ryan
mean,
is still not
it's all
mine
old
is.
consoles, so like, so
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
No. But Ryan definitely still has like a 360 and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because it became an issue when he played Banjo-Kazooie because he could not read the text because he did not have an LCD HD TV.
I know how you feel, man. I had
Yeah.
the same problem playing Dead Space.
Except the difference between you is you're new here and all that, and Ryan has the term executive added to his
Yeah.
title.
Yeah, that's why he has
That's
a TV in
true.
his office where he's most of the hours of the day anyway.
Alice, this is like 4 times you foiled my
I
logic.
know. I like to wreck your shit.
I do not appreciate it.
This is why I like living with her. She brings you down.
This
from
is
your
why I
cloud.
don't come visit you guys ever.
Mm.
Alice just makes me feel like a moron all the time. Anyways,
Anyways.
this isn't Retronauts, and we're sitting here talking about old-ass games, which is fine because I love
Aw,
old-ass games.
me
Well,
too.
but
What?
I want to talk about Half-Life.
Oh, yeah, let's talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
Half-Life, yeah.
Tina's apparently never played Half-Life.
Which just...
Well, that's not necessarily true. I tried playing it back in the day,
I'll
but
just point out that I've never played Half-Life either.
Which, just to pimp it, next week's Retronauts is all about the original Half-Life and,
and
the
I'm going to
various
be on
mods
that
spun
too.
after them.
Yeah,
Nice.
So,
I'll be on that.
So it's been out for what, like 10 years?
the
What do you-
10-year anniversary just passed.
What do you think?
That's a loaded question.
Well, I mean, how
Well-
far have you gone very far? Or?
I'm
No,
still
she's
trying to
she's
kill
like,
the.
You're like 5 or 6 hours in at this point.
Yeah, trying
So.
to kill like that huge creature. You have to like grind it up with the fan and stuff.
There's a part where you reach a giant monster and it's sitting underneath like a giant rocket engine. It's a pretty pivotal point in the game. Most people that have played it would remember that. But it's so funny, like as a person that played that game like 10 years ago when it came out, watching Tina play because it's kind of like when we were playing Street Fighter and I was telling you I didn't know how to throw a fireball and it was like boggling your
Still
mind
amazes
watching me trying to throw a fireball. Like watching Tina play, like there's like little things like she's like, man, how do I get past this? And it doesn't like come to her because like I've played so many Half-Life games that you just need to like whenever you're in a position where you're stuck, you either need to try and crouch or just try and break shit with your crowbar. I was like, this is one of the few games she was stuck for an hour this morning because there was this
Oh yeah,
wall
I
of
was
boxes
fucking
and
pissed.
boards.
Yeah.
And then I walked up and I was like, I just started smacking it and I was like, when all else fails,
With the
Half-Life
crowbar.
is one of those very few games where when all else fails, you should just shoot it. Like most games, that's not true at all. But when all else fails in
Physics.
Half-Life, just try and break the shit out of everything you can.
Yeah, so I was initially when I started playing it, I was making fun of it because it's old and stuff, and
Yeah, like the
In
fact
the-
that
in the-
they repeat the same
hey, I'm
models
talking,
all the time.
motherfucker, I'm talking.
Oh.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. A user said I should do that because you guys always interrupt me. Because I'm a girl.
I was just trying to point out a specific example what you meant because at first she was making fun of the fact that there's only like three
but I'm
character
here,
models.
I could... Go ahead.
Like having Anthony talk for you. Oh.
He's talking for me.
I think you should stick your hand up Anthony's butt and then just have like a ventriloquism thing going on.
I'm gonna shut up and let you talk about Half-Life.
Hey.
All I care about right now is what your opinions are about Half-Life. I apologize.
No, you can participate with me, but you don't have to say like this is what Tina did because I'm right here. My bad.
He's
I'm sorry.
translating,
I know.
Into manese.
I guess.
For all you men in the crowd, here's what she's really saying.
All right, so anyway.
Well, no, like initially you start off in a tram and you're going through like the environment and stuff. And I was jumping around in it and I was like, what the fuck? Like, when am I going to shoot shit? Like, I was getting impatient. So I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, and then I get inside the lab, and then Anthony was like watching me, and then I was laughing because I saw this old dude in a lab coat, and I turn a corner and he's there again. I'm like, whoa, they all look alike. I know, I thought it was funny. And then once I put on my hazard suit, some like weird like techno music came on, and I started dancing to it. It was pretty cool. Yeah, but Gordon Freeman, like I just totally was making fun of the name because it's so like plain. Gordon Freeman.
I think that's one of the big reasons people have traditionally liked Half-Life, though, is because Gordon Freeman was like the everyman hero.
He never talks.
He was. I mean, Ryan to this day is still trying to shape his own style after Gordon Freeman with the glasses and the facial hair the way it is.
It is true,
and the crowbar.
But I'm not saying
office.
it's a bad thing. It's not. I just thought it was interesting, like kind of plain, but it's cool. I mean, I was what is it? The head crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were pretty scary. It made me jump in my seat. This game was scarier than I thought it would be.
I mean, are you like, now that you're playing it, have you thought in your mind like, oh, I can see why people love this game so much?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally addicted right now. I need to finish it.
I mean, at the time, yeah,
it's entertaining.
Like
there's like weird puzzles and stuff.
I was gonna say like all the other first-person shooters were like overtly scary, like Doom 2 or Quake 2 or stuff like that, and like Half-Life definitely plays with your head a lot more. And is like way more story driven than either of those games, I think. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think Half-Life was like the first game, one of the first games that proved that first person shooters could like tell a great story and be scary, actually scary, like or more suspenseful, I guess, rather than just like boo shit coming out of a closet.
It's funny, what are those? I don't know the names. I gave names to specific types of enemies. Like I called one Honey Baked Ham, the one that sends out like a
sonic wave.
Sonic wave, yeah. I thought that was funny. And then there was the vagina face. The looking monster that shoots green shit at you.
Which actually, I mean, that needs no description. The name is a description within itself. But for our users out there who have never seen a vagina,
oh dear God.
Get that monster some monostat.
No, it's really interesting. And it's good now, even though, 10 years later, the graphics and all that, like, it's still really fun to play.
And it's even better for Tina because she didn't have to buy it herself. A 1UP user gifted it to her.
Wow.
Yeah, Brian Guitar Dude for $1. I thanked him.
Big pimpin', 98 cents. What?
Yeah.
That game's still worth the $10 that if people go out and buy it right now. Like,
totally
I don't know.
Is.
It also makes you, like, really appreciate games nowadays, too. Like, there was that loading screen that kept popping up when I was playing. I'm like, whoa, what the heck? And that necessarily isn't the case anymore. And then also, something that Anthony helped me notice was when I was, like, in the vents, and it was really dark, and you turn on your flashlight, there wasn't actually a light source. It was just textures.
It was like she was just moving, like, a light texture around rather than, like, actual, like, lighting and stuff like that. Like the shit that we take for granted nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just observations like that. And I'm still playing, so I'll be discussing it more on Retronauts, but
I think that's one of the few games I still feel is kind of timeless at this point. I don't know. There are a lot of games you go back that are just really hard to go back to. But I wouldn't mind it. Like, if they were to do an updated version of Half-Life with, like, the Half-Life 2 engine, I would definitely pay full price for that. And that's one of those times when people could give me shit because I give her shit.
Well, they did a Half-Life Source.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was, yeah.
Oh, they...
Duh!
And Animal Crushing, a user on our site,
I'm going to
says
quit my job.
Half-Life Opposing Force is the best expansion ever made. And
wow. Best expansion ever made.
I
think they should talk with the StarCraft fan base.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, remakes of games like that, I always give people shit for buying again. But I guess there are games like Half-Life and stuff that I would totally do it again because I know that there are people like Jade that totally, like, have the SNES version of Chrono Trigger, bought the PS1 version of Chrono Trigger, and then this week went out and bought
Weren't
the
you
DS
looking
version
for
of
that
Chrono Trigger.
Earlier this week?
Because I've never played it, and I thought maybe finally I would try it.
Do you want my SNES with my cartridge?
Yeah, I guess.
Whoa.
Do
you have the box and manual?
No.
I do.
Oh, I was going to say, I'll take it.
No.
Well,
I'll just
I
take
didn't
the
say
cartridge.
want.
No,
I meant, like,
yeah,
borrow.
I was going to say, that game's like what? Like, even on the SNES, it's still like, what, $70
With
or
the
something?
box and the maps and the manual, it's worth a ridiculous
Shrink wrapped
amount.
in a box on eBay. That is one of...
Dude,
I
you
If
saw
you
find
buy
me,
just the cartridge, it's like $60.
you find me it in the box, and I will shrink wrap it for you. We'll fake that shit. But
man,
you know, there are a few games like that are like I kind of miss that. Like in some way that all of these people that love older games and stuff. It's not that I don't. It's just I can't really think of any games that are like super old that like I really want to play over again, except for things like Half-Life and stuff like that.
There's like when Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past was re-released for the Game Boy Advance. Awesome. I played through that again and was like, wow, this is still like one of the best games ever made.
Sprite art holds up really well.
For some reason, I also feel though like I'm more inclined to go back and play older games if they were console games rather than older PC games, which is like also because like finding an older console and hooking it up means that it'll definitely work, whereas like acquiring an older PC game, you have a lot of compatibility issues.
With PC games. I mean, if you're playing an old PC game, I think it's so much more apparent in your mind, like, wow, this technology is so old. Yeah. Because you're still playing on, like, fundamentally the same type of hardware, you know? Like,
you have to jump through so many hoops, too, to get it to work sometimes. Like the King Quest.
DOSBox.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, DOSBox, but it's not even perfect. You have to find patches and stuff sometimes.
I'll show you how to make it perfect.
Whoa!
Right?
No, like in the King, like I have the box set right of King's Quest, and then I use DOSBox.
Any Sierra game you own, I will make it work for you.
No, I can make it work, but the point is, it doesn't work out of the box. Like if I just plugged in my SNES cartridge into my SNES, it will work. But the PC games, sometimes you have like compatibility issues, and you have to like kind of hunt around to get.
Yeah, when I launched Half-Life on my computer,
it crashed.
Wow.
Did. And I also had a music disc in my disk drive.
Oh.
And you're not supposed to have one in there, right?
Well, it's not necessarily that you're not supposed to. It's just that the original Half-Life was like made
runs off a CD,
and it was made to play like at certain points it would cue like play track 3. So if you have a CD in there, when you hit those points in the game, it'll cue track 3, and it might just be like whatever CD you have in the drive. So it won't really make sense.
Huh.
Someone should totally like throw in
out if that happened.
Spice Girls or something like that.
Exactly.
what I was gonna say, like you say, you know, it's easier playing old console games. It's like, but it's like, you know, when I'm gonna throw on an NES game, like I know, you know, what to expect from the NES. It's like you're sort of like in NES mode. If you're like in PC mode, you're just gonna be like, oh, PC technology is so much better now. This looks like crap.
Yeah.
You know, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hope that...
It's a mindset.
Yeah, I guess it is. It just comes down to a mindset, which is kind of sad because a lot of the best PC games lately, I don't know, there hasn't been a PC game, too many PC games recently that I've been all about. PC exclusive games anyways. A lot of the older PC games that are like exclusives are all like, I don't know, 5 or more years old. The ones that I really, really love. I don't know.
Right.
But, specifically, we can use this transition to our games of 2009. Like, Alice, I know that I told you that you were supposed to find something. Is there a game in particular next year that you're, like, looking forward to playing?
Right.
Jonesing for?
Yeah, I don't know.
No? You hate games now?
No,
There's just
I like
nothing
games.
in 2009 you want to play?
Not even one game.
Yeah, console stuff maybe, but like PC-wise...
We can talk about
like
console
what?
things.
You know
That's
everything
fine.
that's coming out in like the next 6 months. You're the previews editor. Yeah, so what?
I don't really know. I don't know. A lot of the games I'm looking forward to are a lot of like the PSN titles because those are really awesome, like Flower and Fat Princess, that kind of thing. Like a lot of the bigger titles, I feel like I don't really have to think too much about them because when they release or whatever, I'll be like, oh yeah, this game is good, that game's not good. I don't know. Like probably still be playing the WoW expansion anyways next year, so
yeah.
I don't need them to have another expansion for another year afterwards, unlike Ryan, who wants one in 09.
Well, that's because Ryan's already done everything there is to do in
You're 80 already?
In Wrath of the Lich King.
So, you know, he didn't do
Well,
it
what
yet.
level are you, though, with your Death Knight? This will be all we talk about World of Warcraft.
This still 66.
Still only 66.
Yeah, only 66. What the hell?
I have not gotten too much time to play
Because he's busy playing Left 4 Dead.
Well,
There's Mirror's Edge for PC
I've been
coming
bad
out, which is
playing
gonna be awesome.
Left 4 Dead when I should be playing WoW.
Yeah, I don't know. Mirror's Edge seems like one of those games, though, to me at least, like from what I've played and stuff, that it feels more like a game that I would feel more comfortable playing with a controller.
Plug in
which
a controller.
I know is like blasphemy.
I think
Plug in a controller then.
I played the demo
On PC?
No, on 360.
Oh, okay.
And for me, I felt like, wow, I wish I could. I have a hard time. I suck playing first-person games with a controller, and you turn like all slow if you're turning left.
You
to right
can turn the sensitivity up,
but that.
But it makes you.
Then I'll just overshoot or something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't really shoot that much in the game.
Or overshoot my movements.
Oh, I see.
You know,
I see.
But
gotta fine tune that shit.
But I mean, like, I found myself thinking, like, wow, I could do this a lot easier, a lot faster if I had a mouse and keyboard.
The thing about the PC version is that it's got a lot of new physics added in that I'm really interested to see.
Really?
So yeah, a lot of stuff. Did Matt Leo not show you the new PC trailer that he has been like showing everybody that walks by his desk?
Nude PC
she did say
trailer?
the nude PC trailer,
No,
which was a little bit of a Freudian slip from Alice.
The nude?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I just think of naked people all the time. Okay. Especially naked video games. Ooh la la. I don't know what that even means.
You downloaded the WoW naked patch day one. Did you ever see that?
I did. No, I don't really care for like video game naked
gnomes?
people. No.
Are you serious?
Naked gnomes, it's hilarious.
I want to know, is that just like a boy fascination growing up?
Because, naked video game characters?
Yes, because who when like remember like Ryan's got to at least be with me on this. That like remember like when you heard that you could see like Samus, like.
Yeah,
that wasn't a big deal.
Oh, like she was like in a one piece.
Yes,
it's something I never seen, so it's not.
Well, yeah, but it's like a one piece. Like when you put in the code to play her.
Yes, that wasn't like a big deal to you when you were like a kid.
I mean, that was cool, just because
or like
nobody had seen it before.
The first time you played the first time you played a Tomb Raider game, and you were like, "Whoa!"
Tomb Raider, never really been a big Tomb Raider fan.
Isn't it even like funny when you guys played did you guys play Phantasy Star at all? Like growing up younger?
No, I was
never.
I played those way after the fact and not very much of them. I was like a Sega hater when I was young.
Yeah?
Dang.
Oh yeah, I was.
So next year there's going to be a new Company of Heroes coming out in March.
A new what?
It's an expand-alone, as they like to call them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Most expansions for PC are well, I won't say most, but a lot of them are standalone nowadays.
Nowadays, yes, these days.
Like it might say most of them. Yeah,
I think it's just because it's becoming less financially viable unless you're WoW to release an expansion that requires something else. Like people just aren't necessarily into that. And I talked to the guys at THQ, and it's because Company Heroes is sold. They say like it didn't sell like great initially, but it's sold consistently month after month. That they don't want to like require like if a new one comes out and they can get good shelf time with it, they don't want to require people to have to make like an $80 purchase rather than just like a one-time $40 purchase.
Right.
So and they said the new expansion will still give you, it won't segregate you from being able to play multiplayer with the other people.
Nice.
So, and I mean it does look cool. We have a preview up about it right now that everyone should go read.
Yeah.
Because I wrote it.
What other games are coming out next year?
Still unbalanced?
Yeah, I think that a lot of the problems that are there in multiplayer are still going to be there, but I also think that when the new expansion comes out, there's going to be a patch that releases alongside it that'll resolve a lot of the issues. So. And
you said you never play as them anymore, right?
Yeah, I only play with them unless I'm with Sean and we just want to be really mean and beat up on somebody for no good reason.
Play to win, man.
Well, I always play to win, but Sean and those guys sometimes bring out like the really big asshole side of that playing to win that I'm not necessarily always proud of.
No, play to win.
That's like another thing I brought up the other day. When you're playing a game and you obviously notice that there's some things you can exploit in the game, when you're playing multiplayer to win. And, like, sometimes people complain about that and stuff. And I was saying that it bridges the gap between, like, novice players and, like, the moderate, players. And just thought I'd bring that.
I mean, to me, in a multiplayer game, in a competitive game, if it's in the game and they don't fix it, I mean, it's there.
All right, I know, but, like, by all means, there's no reason why you shouldn't use it other than like your honor, pride.
Well, I mean, like Street Fighter, like the people who complain like you're throwing cheap, you shouldn't throw me. Like, well, it's in the game. It's designed to make it so I can do damage to you when you are sitting there blocking.
Once you actually get really good at a game like that, then you would tell yourself you don't need to do that anymore.
I don't know. There's part of me that like sees where like people are coming from, like that feel like it's in the game, we should do it. But there are some things that are just so obviously cheap. And I think right now is a good time to point out that when Ryan was growing up, unlike the rest of us that identified with the Mighty Ducks, Ryan was always that kid that identified with the other team, led by the coach that would say
that we're all black and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That if you can't, it's not worth winning.
I remember that.
If you can't win big. That's always Ryan's thing.
I identify with Cobra Kai. Strike fast, strike hard, no mercy, sir.
Oh,
the rest of us identified with Ralph Macchio.
Sweep the leg.
So you not choosing to not use the British is an example of
Yeah, I mean it's not, to some extent it's it's like those times when you're playing a game and you're so good at it, like Ryan is with Street Fighter or something.
Yeah, right.
No, but you really are. Hold on.
No,
I'm not saying that.
Don't oversell my Street Fighter abilities because I would not consider myself good at that game.
I'm just saying it's like say you and I are playing Street Fighter, right? Okay, and there's an obvious like skill gap. Like you're just gonna beat my ass and you know it.
You don't even know how to do a fireball.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying you might pick because you know maybe this character's got all these things that make it kind of the best character. You might handicap yourself. I just think that there's a certain degree that sometimes when you're really good at something, you intentionally handicap yourself because it is more fun to have a little bit extra challenge rather than just beat on someone mercilessly.
Yeah, and you remember the other day we were playing. People are gonna get pissed because I'm bringing this up. We're playing Call of Duty on PC with Sean and his friends, and then I don't know who was it that was using the deagle the whole fucking time and just.
It's the tournament Counter-Strike player we play with. I believe his name is Matt.
Yeah, and from across the map, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and see, he just does that because it's almost like him.
See, tournament Counter-Strike player, he'll back up everything I've said. If it's in the game.
No, but,
you exploit the hell out of it.
He could have, chosen to use, the noob tube
but
and
at the same time, he also
used the Desert Eagle from, fucking far away.
And that, and you learn how to get your ass out of the way.
Right, but he's also the same person that would give anyone shit if they used, Claymores or something like that, which are in the game, but it's such a cheap way to
get a kill.
Kill people.
Have you guys read? I was reading Sore Thumbs, which is Shu and Crispin. They have their little thing, and they link to this guy's review of some Star Wars online something or other game, where they're talking about Jedi battles, and the guy was saying how you could clearly do all these things, or one side you before a fight they would bow before each other for honor. You didn't have to, and when they did it leaves you vulnerable, so you can go ahead and just start fighting and kill them. And when you die, you have to wait 30 minutes in a queue or something to come back alive and shit. So you really didn't want to die. So it's if you were honorable, you before the fight everyone would bow and shit. And there was he was fighting a guy that was without honor, and he bowed even in spite of it. And he got hurt, and he was blah blah blah. There's this big battle, and he wins. But anyways,
the guy without honor won.
No, the guy with honor won with one health point left or some crap like that. But basically, it's that whole idea of there's a honorable way to play a game and the dishonorable way to play a game. It's kind of a weird social.
Yeah, and I would
think that it only crops up in multiplaer.
And I would specifically say that it crops up more often in PC multiplayer than it ever does in console. Mm-hmm. Because in PC multiplayer, people make their own servers with their own rules, and you'll always see people spamming no this, no this, no this, and it's in the game, but it's still it's the server mandated rules, and you can choose to play where you want.
You can do stuff I can go ahead and get something and break it over Anthony's head, but that would be very mean.
In competitive games, you play to win.
I always complained when fools would Zergrash in StarCraft. Be what the fuck?
Ryan's the type of guy that played games with his dad growing up, and his dad just got mad and never played more than one round with him because Ryan was just beating his ass the whole time instead of being semi-merciful. Again, can't always
Well, no, but that's I think that's a little different. You're handicapping yourself, and you want to get better at other certain, weapons or methods of killing people. But feeling bad for someone and just kind of letting them win, that's completely different. That's kind of messed up.
I don't know. The point I'm making is that Ryan's a merciless person.
If I'm in an arcade and I put the quarter in the machine and some little kid walks up and starts playing, I'm not going to let that little kid win.
And you're going to, like, look up in his face.
Was that you that had that story where the dad was like, why couldn't you just let him win or something? Who was that? There was someone in an arcade playing, like, Street Fighter, and a little kid and dad come in. Dad puts in the quarter for the little kids. Oh, you want to play with my son a little bit? And that person beats the kid really fast, and the dad was pissed.
That was not me.
Who was that? Oh, shit.
But that same situation actually did happen when Ryan first started dating his fiancée. He used to take her out to the arcade sometimes. This is why they don't go to the arcade anymore. As a matter of fact, like when we went to play mini golf, there was an arcade there. But yeah, he would publicly shame her in front of a lot of people. Just like straight up beat her over and over again. It was never like, let me let you win because we're here having fun.
No,
didn't matter if it was skee ball.
No, you don't have to let people win. You just like you lower the gap though. You don't have to like lay the beat down and be like, you suck so much.
Unless you're Ryan Scott.
Well, this story is not true, but a lot of times, like whenever there's a new Soul Calibur or Mario Kart, like my girlfriend, I'll be like, oh yeah, let's play this. She's into those games, but then she'll get mad because I'll beat her all the time. Mm-hmm. But then when I try to let her win,
she also gets mad.
I mean, no, but I mean it's always so obvious to her when I'm trying to let her win. Like it just like
you like totally go like do a 180 and go down the track the wrong way. You're like, oh look, you're winning.
Well, no, but I mean she can tell like.
That just means you suck at lying, Ryan.
What's wrong, Ryan?
Oh, our recording laptop, I just got a message that we are running on reserve battery power, and our computer's about to go to sleep, and that would be so terrible.
That's
this not
crisis.
Technical difficulty.
Hold on, Ryan, keep talking. Just keep podcasting like normal. Seriously.
Okay.
So, Jade, what kind of games do you play?
Well, right now I'm playing the Chrono Trigger that just came out for DS.
Oh, yeah?
I got that game memorized, but I'm excited to see like the new stuff that they added to it. Mm-hmm. And then I just finished Dead Space, which in my
scary
humble opinion is my favorite game of this year. I think it's